Live. We're going live. I'm going in. Hey, hello. Happy Friday. 4:05 Central Time, United States of America. Hamster here. Got tired of doing, I had, work, long week, all that crap. So I thought we'd have a little fun here before all the streaming gets underway tonight. I think Chronic has one coming up. Scotty's Side has one coming up. Didn't see anything from Hammerhand. I don't know if Hammerhand got whacked as of late. Who knows? I mean, there's been a lot of strikes and a lot of yeets, right? Ribby the party frog got yeeted for whatever reason. You know what I mean? What did he used to do? Play video games? Oh my God, we got to get rid of that guy or something. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed, hello. How are you? You're in Canada, right? How's Canada? Is it snowing up there? Salty Monkey, hello. Re to you too. Re to you too. So I was kind of poking around the phone. Found a couple things might be interesting to talk about. But we don't have to be heavy, do we? No, we can just have a little fun, can we not? Evo the Toxic Monster is in the building. Yo, man, what's up? How are things? I think you said you're in the UK, right? So I hope everything's all right. It's what, midnight? Are you having a couple of cocktails? Let's crack open some brewskis. Yeah. No, not for me. No beers for me. I'll leave it all to Polska Bob. I don't want to. Although these Guinnesses were really good. I might have to just go get one for the hell of it. They were really tasty. Like I said, from Ireland in a big old can. It's a big old torpedo full of beer. Yes, sir. 2207 in England. So thank you for popping in. All right. So I was poking around on the internet. And I came across something that's kind of fun. Have you ever watched the Hallmark Christmas movies? Now, my mother, bless her soul, may she rest in peace. She would love to watch the Hallmark Christmas movies in July, right? It's the middle of, it's fucking Florida. It's 100 degrees. It's just brutal. And so she would watch, I guess, snow, make her feel better. But you'll notice there's usually a pretty consistent theme in every Hallmark Christmas movie that's ever been made. Ran across this guy. I think his name's Trey something. Let's do it. Kennedy. All the links in the description below the video. So if you want to go check it out. So this could be the opening scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but it's not. This guy's friggin' talented. It's funnier than hell. Let's just...
Holly, you're a really great writer, but we need something new and fresh. So if you don't give me something new and fresh by Christmas, we're going to go with one of the Gen Z kids.
From the company that still tries to sell greeting cards.
Do they? I didn't. Okay, well, I mean, you got to do something with those trees. You can't let them all just grow. You send cards anymore for Christmas? I used to sort of kind of do that, kind of spend a Saturday, having some wine or whatever, writing out all the crap. I just don't do it anymore. What's the point? I just don't see the reason. I mean, I can call, or I'm going to have a IM video session with Jennifer. So we could do that for Christmas. That'll be fun. Cook some, turkey or ham or whatever. Do I have to send you a card? And of course, if I asked Jen, she'd go, yes, you can if you stuff it full of money. That's the only paper I want to see for Christmas anyway. So here's your typical setup of the story, right? It's like, it's getting to be Christmas, and if we don't have something by Christmas, okay, what are we going to do?
Hey, bestie with the quirky personality.
Yeah, that's of course. The bestie with of course, he's pretending to be the girl, I believe.
I think I'm going to go to rural Iowa.
Okay, well, don't freaking complain to me when you can't find a good salon out there. It's freaking Iowa.
I just need a reset. Like, enough of all this hustle and bustle.
You could go to Iowa and the bridges of Madison County. Go see them before some asshole burns them all.
Fly out in an hour.
An hour? Yeah. Go to the airport.
That actually happened. What a bunch of donut heads. There was that movie in the book, Bridges of Madison County, kind of but yeah, some drunk kids one night went out and burned the damn thing down. It's like, what are you doing?
Airport. LaGuardia's packed this time of year. Why'd you book a flight in an hour?
For the producers of your mom's favorite rom-com.
That's right. In a world.
I'm not in New York City anymore.
Oh, no.
Cheesy holiday love story.
You're not going to get far in those high heels, sweetheart.
I misjudged you at the start of the movie. and you annoy me.
Starring
Happens every time. Every single movie is the same thing. Big city girl goes to the hometown, Iowa, or goes back somewhere and meets a guy she doesn't like. And then you know what happens in the end.
two actors who you've never heard of.
You get all teary-eyed. Oh, it's so sweet. They fell in love. Oh, my God. Every single one.
But they're pretty attractive.
You again? Are you just everywhere in this small little sleepy little town? Am I at the bakery that I own? You're learning I have a sweet side to me.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma's recipe. Well, I'm gluten-free, but this is the part of the movie where I'm starting to be interested in you.
Critics are saying
If you could just help me get over my last man. It just broke my widow heart. He was just so, whatever. Like he just, and reason.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's time I showed you around this little town. If these trees could talk, oh, the stories they'd tell. Did you say story?
Have I seen it before?
Yes, you have.
She's hot.
Mm.
Come here, bro. Yeah, I'm a dog guy as well.
Oh, he looks like a lumberjack. Oh my God.
I'm the perfect guy. Bessie, I think I found my fresh new story. I want to stay in Iowa for Christmas.
Girl, the story you found is that hot piece of man. Okay, you stay in Iowa and you shuck that corn. Bye, girlie.
Shuck that corn, baby. Baby cakes. Still drinking the wine, I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Wine
I've
mom.
got everything I need right here.
Right here in Iowa.
Everything? Well, if love were a pie, I am missing an ingredient.
Oh,
Maybe that's you.
Are you?
Oh, God. I'm sure you heard that. I need. Listen to it again.
Maybe that's you.
Are you kidding?
Yes, she is the missing ingredient. Look at her jump around. Oh my God.
So, what are we doing?
All the moments you know and love. The almost kiss, but interrupted by a loud noise.
Better get these pies out.
I mean, look how in love this guy is here with this new girl from the big city. He's gonna pull out the punky pie without a thing. Ouch! It's hottie.
Oh, that's
Deep secrets revealed.
You were just using me to write one of your little New York stories? Everything
Yes.
I said was true. Everything. How about you just go back to the city where you came from? Why are you acting like this? Why? I'm a rough and tough country guy who can't express his emotions. I'm an insecure girl who is scared. You know what? Just go.
Oh my God! And then we get drunk listening to Barry Manilow or something.
And
Why can't my old man?
I'm gonna leave, but this one thing makes me stay for one more night.
What would be that thing, I wonder? Snowstorm, bear attack. Could it be, I don't know, cocaine, bears or something? No.
Holly, you're not leaving town, are you?
Oh, hey, that one friend in town I made. Maybe this place isn't for me. I'm leaving tonight.
You can't leave.
It just, this is friggin' hilarious.
Tonight, it's a 5K. The whole town's gonna be there.
Oh no.
Okay, fine. But it's not to see Chris or Ben or whatever we named him. Oh, I took the 5K.
Oh my God.
Not bad for a city girl.
Ooh.
I made you this. Oh, but I'm gluten-free.
But I look like a mess.
If you're a mess, that's a mess I want to clean up the rest of my days.
Oh God. I mean, let me tell you, you don't have to be serious. You can just have a little fun. Well, if you're a mess, you're a mess. I want to clean up the rest of my days.
I think this will be my best story yet.
Ever. Oh.
Cheesy holiday love story. The same thing every year.
Oh my God. Everybody laughs because we know it's true, right?
This long to get put on the shelf like a porcelain doll. The one out of
Oh God. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's always it's so much fun, isn't it? What are we watching, Hamster? That is every Hallmark Christmas movie ever by Troy something. Link in the description. Go check it out. It's funny as hell. It's really friggin' true, isn't it? They're all the same. It's like, oh yeah, small town girl goes or big town girl goes small town, meets her old ex-boyfriend or a new man. Iridium Kush. What the absolute is wrong? Well, yeah, That's the Hallmark Channel. You ever watch do they have a Hallmark Channel? I think they do, where they play all the like Christmas movies and love stories and stuff. Hey, I admit it, I get a little choked up when I'm watching a little bit of that stuff around Christmas, but not necessarily in July. But, maybe Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, stuff like that. Mohamed is here. Hello, Mohamed. How are you in Egypt? Hope everything's good. Tom Landry is here. Tom Landry. Okay. All righty. Have a he was pretending. I don't know. He might be gay, whatever, but I think he was pretending to be a girl, right? So his name was Holly, right? Of course her name was Holly. What else would it be? Mistletoe? I mean, come on, people. Come on now. All right. Let's I'm going to save the Cocaine Bear trailer for a little bit later. Let's do the Jennifer Lawrence one first. You heard about Jen, what do they call her? J Law, which is just stupid. That's just, I do. Then it does not work for me. Jennifer Lawrence is a fine name. What is J Law? Okay, it's J Law, I guess. All right. Fine.
In general.
So it's Dave Rubin. Now, you may have heard the story. You may not. A long story, really short. Dave will explain it. Jennifer Lawrence made a claim in an interview that she was the first female action hero. Now, I wonder if this mental defect is because a lot of maybe we did the same thing. When I was born, it was like, oh, nothing happened before I was alive, or I don't know where it comes from, but clearly she isn't the first female action lead in a movie.
Are not the wisest people, often have a myopic view of the world, often think that everything revolves around them, and that nothing came before them.
Exactly. Where does that come from? Maybe it's just young people. I don't know, but she's not so young anymore. She's like 32. 30, whatever, 33. She ought to know something by now. Now, I have to say, I have never seen Jennifer Lawrence in a movie. I didn't see Katniss Evergrip or whatever her name was in the movie.
This video was going viral yesterday. This is
Everclear.
Katniss so Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence was in Hunger Games.
Uh-huh.
She was in X-Men. Who's the?
Oh yeah, she was the blue chick. Right.
Mystique.
Yeah.
She was Mystique in the new X-Men movies. She's done a couple other things.
Sure.
Here she is.
Didn't she do that? Was it what was that Hustle show? Was that her? I think it was.
And that before her, there were no chicks.
Nope.
Doing lead acting roles in action movies.
Not. And you know why? It's the patriarchy. It's the evil man in this country. We refuse. Until Jennifer Lawrence, of course, we refuse to watch movies with female lead characters in an action flick. No. Obviously, the patriarchy doesn't allow such thing. And that's why Jen, she broke the glass ceiling, I guess. She tore down the patriarchy just to get at that very first lead role in an action movie.
He may have a limited memory.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie. Because
did you misunderstand what you said there? Pretty straightforward. Let me just back it up and turn the volume up a little bit. So this is what she said. Let's go back. Here we go. All right.
I think she may have a limited memory.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie.
Yeah. Nobody put a woman in the lead of an ever. She was the very first one. Now she's walked it back, and so that's not really what I meant. I don't know what did it sound like she meant. It certainly was pretty clear English to me. I don't know
because it wouldn't work.
Oh yeah,
we were told
the patriarchy.
Girls and boys can both identify with a male lead, but boys cannot identify with a female lead.
Of course. And who is this person? She actually agrees with her. What are these people brain damaged? Listen again.
With a female lead.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. Yeah. Boys can't possibly appreciate a strong female lead in an action movie. Yeah, it's impossible. Because of the evil patriarchy and misogyny and something else, whatever. It's got to be something like that, right?
Makes me so happy every single time I see a movie come out that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie.
Who fucking says anything of the sort, Jennifer? Who says it? Who actually is saying that, look, we can't do this action movie with you because, the guys won't like it. What, are you freaking crazy? Maybe in some of those backdoor sort of cigar-filled rooms where they're trying to green light some movies, maybe that kind of thing is said, yeah, you're not right for that. That's more of a boy movie. Well, sure, but who in the general public? Who in the ticket-buying general public thinks to themselves, I can't go watch this movie because it's got a chick in the lead? What stupid... she's full of stupid. Hello, humans. I'm still unevicted before... Well, good. Oh, no. Yeah, you probably should. You shouldn't. Yes, I know, Salty. Well, we'll just get through it because they've came up with a list of maybe a couple of movies that may have snuck under the patriarchy before Jennifer Lawrence did her Katniss Evergreen, whatever. Catnip Evergreen, whatever.
Keep certain people out of the movies.
Yes.
Keep certain people in the same positions that they've always been in, and it's just amazing to watch it happen and watch you at the helm.
You know what I think, Jennifer? Hollywood is all about money. And so if they think they can put a chick in the lead of a big budget action movie and make money, they're going to do it. Thus, the whatever those movies were, the Hunger Games and whatever. There was a few of those out at the same time. So whatever that one was, you were in it. What, 2 of them or 3 of them? What was the vampire movie with the ginger girl? What was that? Twilight or something? I don't follow this shit all that often. Now, I'm sure by now you're scratching down in your head, how many movies have I really, really enjoyed with strong, powerful Yugo girl lead action movie chicks?
Guys, there's been a massive conspiracy that Jennifer Lawrence has unfurled. She did it, Scooby-Doo style. She ripped
broke through the glass patriarchy.
The mask off. Before her, there were no lead actors in action movies.
No.
It's not as if the internet exists where you might be able to video.
I can handle myself.
Yeah, I wanted to like Alien or Aliens or whatever the fuck, the Alien one, this one, but there was a chick. I couldn't do it. Just sorry.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yep. Yeah, can't really come up with anything here. None of these movies are any good because there was a chick. Oh my God. I mean, Sigourney Weaver and Linda Hamilton. That was come on now. They were victims of the patriarchy, of course. Yep. That's just men dressed up as women doing the fight scenes. There you go. Yeah, they glued the chick's face over a dude. That's what happened, or something. Yep. We could even think up a few more. Yeah, it never happened. Helen Mirren never had a machine gun here. No, it's not happening. Yeah. Yeah. Nope. That was imagination. None of those movies made any money. I thought of a couple more that kind of slipped through the cracks. Gina Davis in Long Kiss Goodnight, kicking ass and taking names. 12-year-old Natalie Portman in The Professional. She was the freaking lead again, kicking ass, taking names. Angelina Jolie. What was the lady in Bonnie and Clyde? You think that was, what about Sharon Stone in that Western movie? She was kick ass, right? No, didn't happen before Jenny Lawrence.
Congrats, Jennifer Lawrence. You just erased all of those chicks. Unless she knows something we don't know. Maybe she knows they all have penises. In which case they're still chicks, right? Isn't that how this thing works?
Yes.
It's also confusing. Anyway, just such silliness. Like this, it's the same sort of very narrow view of the world. Meghan Markle comes into the monarchy and thinks that she knows
Oh,
best
God.
about everything and should disassemble it.
I was going to queue up a Meghan Markle video, but I didn't want to torture you guys too much. The only thing I can say is, did no one love this young man? Did no one take this guy inside and said, look, nothing but trouble here? Nobody. Oh, my God. Of course, they're claiming that, well, the royal families, they're a bunch of racists and shit. Because, reasons. And it's like, somebody actually had to tell me that Meghan Markle is black. I had no freaking, I didn't care, to be honest. Well, I still don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But, what you gotta get a victim point somehow. Did no one sit down with Harry and have a long discussion? Like I said, did no one love this guy? Did no one care about this man's future? What are you doing? Oh, my God. Okay, so I can paste that in now if I just do it right. Got some political news. Oh, wait, let's go to the chat here. I want to see if you guys have thought up any actions that didn't. Oh, what was the one with the, what was the vampire movie?
What's one piece of information your electric company doesn't
I don't know. It looks like toilet bowl heads there. Right? What are you saying? There was who was the chick in the vampire movie? The where they killed all the vampires. Van Helsing. What was her name? Something. She was good. Kate Beckinsale. Yeah. Underworld. Thank you. Yeah, Meghan Markle. God. I just don't. Why didn't they love this man enough? Hello, John G. How
want
are
you
you?
to know about. I'll start.
Okay.
Thanks to the newly passed Inflation Reduction Act, homeowners are now being incentivized to go solar as a part of America's effort.
Here we go with the solar
Arizona
panels.
Senator Kirsten Sinema announcing she is leaving the Democratic Party and
Kirsten Sinema. The Democrat Party is a little bit too crazy for the moderate senator from Arizona. Even she is sick of them. Now, this doesn't mean she's going to be a Trump-loving Republican, but at least she's going to get off the crazy train. Thank goodness for her.
registering as an independent. Congressional correspondent Rachel is on Capitol Hill with these details. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Oh, God.
Eva, good morning. And this
Now
news
what?
is just coming in. A massive shakeup here on Capitol Hill. Arizona Senator Kirsten Sinema has officially announced that she is leaving the Democratic Party.
Congratulations, Senator Sinema.
Registering as an independent in the state of Arizona. She has been a major swing vote for Democrats, a key holdout on parts of President Biden's domestic agenda. And she announced this via tweet just moments ago, saying, I have joined the growing numbers of Arizonans who reject party politics by declaring my independence from the broken partisan system in Washington. I'm told that she did inform Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just last night. The timing on this is notable. It comes just right after Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock won that critical runoff in Georgia, handing Democrats an outright majority in the Senate. Now, Sinema insists that nothing about her values or beliefs changes, that she'll continue to serve on committees, but she declined to say whether or not she will continue to caucus with Democrats. So even if the balance of power is not changing in the Senate, this could give Democrats a whole lot less breathing room that they were hoping for. And of course, she's up for re-election in 2024, Eva.
Yeah, the Joe Manchin from West Virginia should do the same thing and really screw up the communists trying to destroy this country. That would be good.
And no doubt a big blow for them. Rachel Scott for us there. Thank you, Rachel.
Wow. Let's do, hi, George Stephanopoulos. How are you? Didn't you used to work for the Clinton? You did you? Okay. Fair and balanced there in the press with George Stephanopoulos. All right, let's go back to the movies for a minute. There's a new movie coming. I swear to God. Cocaine Bear.
Oh, Jesus.
Trailer below.
What is that?
Beth, we should go. Millions.
Evidently, this is based on a true story. I had no idea. I saw this trailer the other day. It's like Cocaine Bear. Is this a comedy? What is this? No, apparently it's based on a real story.
Of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
Ray Liotta's the drug guy?
No, don't eat that, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on
Oh my God.
It fucking did cocaine. A bear did cocaine.
There was a bear.
A bear?
It was far.
Hey,
It's coming out in February, so you can take your girlfriend to this for Valentine's Day.
that's inappropriate.
What we need is a movie about undead chronic Kush being smoked by a bear. That'd be fun. Oops.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
That's what's her face. Yeah, he's fine.
Higher, baby.
Oh, shit.
Get higher, baby.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with a man forever.
Apex predator.
Doing blow.
High on cocaine. Out of its mind. Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear?
Shoot it, man!
Bear, straight up!
Get higher, baby. And don't ever come down.
Oh my God.
Such good luck in nature.
Oh, I guess it is kind of a comedy. It's pretty funny. Oh my God. Cocaine Bear. Who would have ever thought? It is for real. It is a real movie, Josh. It's a real movie. Universal Studios, cocaine CGI. It is, yep. I want to see that. It looks fun. Craig Furness is here. Stone Reaper is in the building. Oh my God. Yep. We could have the Kush smoking undead chronic bear. Call it the Kush Bear. That would be freaking hilarious. Yeah, it's the link is in the description if you want to go look at it. Oh my God, I just thought that was funny. That looks really, really interesting. Oh, by the way, that the woman's name in this movie, what was her name? She was in some television show as a young person. I don't know, like Dawson's Creek or some shit. I never watched any of that crap. But she was also in. Oh, for God's sake! Right. Go get some milk. All right.
Feminism
exists. Yeah. Bill Whittle, and what is this show called here? It's it's called something. We'll get to it in a minute. But she was in something called The Americans, I think it was, which was a TV series. They were spies and stuff. Again, pretty strong lead character as a female. She was also in a movie called Waitress. If you've ever seen that, it's really sad. I mean, the movie is kind of weird and campy, but the director and the star of the movie was murdered, actually. Well, she was 32 or something like that. Adrienne Shelley was in that movie. She did the movie, did all that stuff, and then some dude came up to her apartment and killed her for no fucking reason. Just for no reason, just murdered her. It's like, what you... Oh my God. Anyway, Bill Whittle. Feminism exists because men allow it.
Feminism exists because men allow it to exist.
As I've said a million times, what the hell kind of a patriarchy do we have that the fembots always bitch about? If it's such a strong, powerful Yugo patriarchy, only for white men and all that shit, excuse me, how do women have any rights to do anything in this evil patriarchy? I'm just curious. I was just wondering about that. Because when they say they want to smash the patriarchy, it's not the patriarchy, it's capitalism. Hello. All right. Virtue signal. Okay. What's happening to women? Now, this is 33 minutes. We're not going to go through the whole thing. But if you go to the video, look in the comments, someone says, hammer hand as a MGTOW. Believe it or not.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Virtue Signal. I'm Bill Whittle with my friend Alfonso Rachel. And
Yes.
you probably know the drill by now. Zoe, I've noticed I don't watch TikTok because, I don't want my brain to turn complete mush.
I mean, Whittle must have lost his hairspray today because normally his hair is all slicked back and nice, and he's looking a little like, ugh.
It's happening fast enough on its own already.
Crazy.
But I watch a couple of people who watch TikTok. I watch a couple of people. I don't even want to call them conservatives so much as they're just common sense people, right?
Oh, okay. Yes.
And obviously, there's this libs of TikTok that basically finds the nuttiest and the looniest people on TikTok and so on. So,
I mean, it's not really a hard search. It's not. It's hard to find normal on TikTok, as you guys probably well know. All they ever do is smash the Chad. Yes. Diogenes, Dworkins, and Simmons. Earrings and crazy hair. Oh, yeah. That's the uniform. I'm so unique, but I look just like everyone else.
I'm willing to accept that this is a extreme edge. But let me tell you something I've seen consistently now for a couple of years, and it really worries me.
All righty.
It seems to me now that all across the board, women have become more degenerate than men. And that's not good.
No.
At all.
See now, Mr. Whittle and Mr. Alfonso here. Of course, they're still operating under the old rules where men are just free to go out and fuck everybody and get their hands on, which is not true. It's hard for most average men to get some of that. But for women, they just go, hey, all I got to do is show up. But they're still going to say stuff like, well, just because all men are out there, well, they're not. Go on.
And what I mean by that is 9 out of 10 of the Karens, older people, right, who are going to call the manager and demand that you can't videotape me while I'm pepper spraying your dog, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So we all know what that kind of Karen is.
There was one I saw the other day where something about her apple pie wasn't heated thoroughly or something. She fucking starts just losing her shit over an apple pie.
When I see people freaking out on airplanes,
dude, just ask for a one that's hot. It's really not that hard.
Screaming. Usually it's women, not always, but usually.
I've seen them. Yeah.
When I see people losing their, just melting down in a Starbucks or in a Walmart or something like that, it's almost always women who are shrieking at the top of their lungs in hysteria. And even more disturbing is among the Gen Zers, this idea that, you're going to go off on Easter vacation, be a bad bitch, and you'll do as many guys as you want to. And then when you come back, you'll be loyal to your boyfriend again. And across the board as well, in concurrent with this, I'm seeing more and more and more videos.
Get it out, Bill. Come on.
Of women who are really.
You can do it.
Destroyed. They're just weeping. They don't know what to do. They
invest in boxed wine and cat food. I mean, it's a cliche at this point, but I'll say it now. Why do women think they can go on spring break and be the F girl and why? Because society does not object to it. There's a reason why the communists wanted to come in, infiltrate the church in the 50s and destroy it. There's a reason, because that used to be the guardrails in our society. That's gone. Remember the old revolution? Oh, you can go out there just like men. Go, go, go. And a lot of women partook, shall we say. And now society is like, yeah, whatever. No, it's not. There's a reason why there were morals, values. There were reasons why you didn't do certain things, because reasons. And now we're seeing the fruition of all this bullshit approximately 60 years after the big old revolution. Gee, I think it turned out just like they planned it.
The lie that they've been told has caught up with them.
Yep.
And so right in the middle of the, the older Karens and the younger, chicks that have a body count of, 30 or 40 or 100 or something.
No, excuse me, Bill. 30 is about at the end of college. Come on now.
right in there in the
Again, this guy's been out of the dating scene for a while.
to late 30s into their mid to late 40s. I'm seeing more and more women who are essentially using TikTok to cry into the camera because they got no one else to cry to, frankly. And talking about how they're alone and they have a nice job, nice car, and they're alone and they got their cats and all the good guys are already married and all the rest of it.
I did everything fembots told me would make me happy, and it does. Yep. Yeah, nobody could see this was coming at all.
But if it were one or two things or one or two sectors, one or two age groups, I wouldn't be so concerned about it, but it seems to be everywhere. And I think that I'm not going to say this is the officially stamped conservative viewpoint, but certainly in my understanding of history and relationships and stuff, it seemed to me always that it was women who were supposed to be moderating, the passions of men. And as the society becomes ever more feminized and men become more and more marginalized, largely because of feminists, there just seem to be more and more women who are just unhinged and unmoored. They have no emotional stability. They've got that's it. No emotional stability. And they're kind of losing their minds.
I think I would agree with Mr. Whittle's interpretation. What do you think? Now, I don't think Whittle does this kind of work very often. That's why I kind of wanted to play it. I don't know if you know this guy, but he's kind of a conservative commentator. He's got some streams and various other things. He's into airplanes. He's big into aviation and stuff. He's an interesting guy to listen to, although his his presentation is a little choppy today. But all right, let's go back to it. Evo, are you trying to be funny? A woman wouldn't see a good guy. Diogenes Dworkinson. When over a third of men throw in the towel and give up, without a doubt that women, it doesn't matter. The men that are throwing in the towel, these women don't want anyway. We know the story by now, right? Yes, we do.
And I think this is a
so there's no consequence. See, so it doesn't matter if these men aren't getting any. They don't care. They don't want those men. They just want the top 10%, or it's almost getting down to like the top 5%.
I also think that perhaps it might be the harbinger of a realization that this third wave feminist, story about women need men like a fish needs a bicycle. That may be proving in the laboratory of reality to be maybe not so true. But do you notice that as well?
Oh, definitely, man. We saw another meltdown, and this woman was in the military. And she dismissed, like, woman, you ain't even on the battlefield. It looks like you're in the gym or something like that. And you're mad because you didn't get, I don't know, some French fries or something like that. It had a full-on meltdown. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that we don't really, need. It's like, of course, somebody's going to have, be frustrated and stuff like that, a man or a woman. But
I think everybody's going to have a bad day once in a while, but it's certainly not a good look. Screaming at the poor people at McDonald's because your fries are cold. I mean, just ask for another order of fries that are warm. I mean, it's not that hard.
It's like that. It's that there's a much deeper seated issue that's going on with that. But so to your point, I see these kind of meltdowns that happen, and that was just like the latest one that I had seen. Yeah. But you're right, man. These women are finding themselves like disenchanted, disillusioned, and feeling unfulfilled with this idea of what it is to be a strong woman or a complicated woman and things like that. Woman. It's like, I've said before, there's no value in a woman being complicated any more than there's a value of being a complicated man. A man doesn't need a complicated woman. And a lot of times when they go into these relationships, that's what they're having to deal with women being sold on that they need to be strong and complicated and independent and all that sort of stuff.
And sad, just be nice. That's it. It's all, just be pleasant. That's it. If you're going to come in with this boss bitch and nobody wants to deal with that. Now, it's not that you won't get dick, but nobody wants to deal with it. You work all day. If you both work, you're out, you're busting your ass. You got to deal with your freaking boss and all that other bullshit that most of us have to deal with. And then you come home and you got to put up with it again from her. No, I don't think so.
And those things are taken way out of context but they don't know how to feed the context that it's supposed to be in. So they try to be complicated. It's like, look, I don't need a complicated woman. I need a woman who can deal with complications. Yes, I don't need a complicated. Life's already complicated. From the onset of this whole thing, the Lord said, hey, Adam, you're going to need a helper, man. You know, so, and lo and behold, here the woman comes. But the woman has assumed that.
I wonder if we can get a refund on that rib. I think it's, I think it's a little too late.
Make a better man. She's got to lead him to his feminist side. You need to tap into your feminist side. No, you don't lead a man to his feminist side, feminine side. You lead a man to the Lord. That's what you're supposed to do. Remind him, you are my priest in this house. You are my king in this house. I am your queen in this house. And as kings and queens, we serve each other, right? It's not about you serve me and all that sort of stuff and whatnot. And we minister to each other. That's what we're supposed to do. But see, women ain't finding that because they keep thinking that a man is supposed to be dialing into their feminist side. And of course, women don't feel secure anymore. Between men who are just checked out, trying to be men on their own terms, which only turns into a checked out or an abusive man in the first place, or men trying to flip and be women. How is a woman supposed to feel secure? They can't. So they're like, well, I guess I'm just supposed to be independent, out for number one and all that sort of stuff. And they see what men do and they want the glory of a man. And that was warned about us.
That's the word, actually.
There it is, right? That was
excuse me. They want the good stuff, but not the bad stuff. Right? It's not that a woman can't deal with her own stuff and perfectly protect herself and all that stuff. It's not that they can't, but they'd rather have a man to do it. Some women would.
Yeah, and they want that to be a buffet too, right? I'll take some of that. No, you can have that.
Yeah, and that was told us from the beginning. The Lord even said it. It's like, look, you're gonna covet. You're basically gonna covet and desire the things of your husband. And when you translate that, it's like you don't want to obey. You want to control your husband or your man, or you don't want to be submissive to him. You're gonna want it the other way around. So, you know, these things are being played out. It's already a symptom that a woman is going to have. And then it's exacerbated by a lot of men being checked out in the first place.
That's interesting because you may have noticed the, well, you know, correlation isn't causation, but you may have noticed that all of this bullshit started happening when we started putting up insurance companies and factories where women could go and work and not get killed by bears and shit out in the forest. You notice that? Yeah. Have you noticed? I was watching this World War II documentary the other day, and it's something like, well, you know, when World War II happened, that's women got, you know, we had to rely on the women. What were the men doing? Oh, they were over dying in the war. So, okay. All right.
Yeah. Just as a quick note, a side note, I finally got a chance to see All Quiet on the Western Front, which is a Netflix, it's a German movie about the classic World War I story. And there's nothing worse has ever happened to human beings than what the men had to go through in World War I on the Western Front. It's just the most awful thing ever.
It's brutal.
And in this particular retelling of this,
I think I heard that, was it 700,000 English were killed in that war? I think it was a huge. I didn't realize that it was a lot of men that just basically cannon fodder. It's terrible, awful stuff.
Classic story. One of the guys runs off with these French girls just for an afternoon, basically.
Ooh, yeah.
And he comes back with a scarf that this woman had worn, and it's still got her smell on it. And they kind of, like, every guy in the barracks, every man in the barrack wants to get a smell of it. It's like neck. It's perfume, right?
Sure.
And throughout the course of this story, you find this scarf passing from one guy to another as the person who's holding it gets killed.
Yeah.
And they're just constantly holding on to this thing like it's almost like a rosary or something, you know. and what it is it's men who were in the most impossible living hell ever created on earth ever. And what that scarf is for them, it's a reminder that there's a world outside. This also reminder is what they're fighting for. And I really think that this almost ought to be, I don't believe anything should be mandatory really, but it almost ought to be mandatory viewing for all young people, men and women both, because it shows in graphic detail what men go through and why, and how important that idea of it's not even a chaste woman so much as just a good woman, right? Somebody worth coming home to, somebody worth fighting for.
Yeah, somebody you don't have to come home and argue with. Somebody you can just go home and relax. You know, that's really all we ask. God, that's all we ask. All right. Got to run back in 20, picking my son up from school. All right, Salty, go deal, hang out with your kid. That's good. Good stuff. Joshua says cocaine bears balloons. That'd be quite a show, wouldn't it? Yeah, that certainly would be something to see, I suppose.
And what we're seeing now, especially among the really young women, is that they have been told that they can be as sexualized as men and that they can have as many partners as men, and so they do. And then not only are they amazed when they can't keep a guy because they've slept with 60 guys before that, they also seem to think that when you ask these, and some of these girls are just, they're just, well, the old term used to be gold diggers. There's a newer term for them now. I'm just not going to repeat it.
Garden tools.
And when you ask them what they're looking for, and they'll say, well, my minimum standards are 6'1" guy, he's got to be making at least $500,000 a year. He's got to be driving this kind of car and so on. And you look, and this is the good news. More and more, I'm seeing men really starting to respond to this. And so you'll see somebody say, well, okay, so that's what you want. What do you bring to the table?
Oh, no. What do you bring? Oh, he's evil. Look at this misogynist guy here. Oh, my God.
And they're like, what do you mean? Well, what do you bring to the table? Well, look at me. I'm gorgeous. Well, first of all, you might be a 7 on a good day in good light. Okay. The guy you're talking about has his pick of the 9s and 10s in the world.
That's
what makes you think he would ever, the kind of person that you're demanding for yourself, what makes you think he would ever?
Well, what makes them, for some women, what makes them think is that they believe that when Chad, Tyrone, and Juan give her the big D, that's somehow an accomplishment and that's going to, keep him around. It doesn't. They haven't figured this out yet, apparently. It's pretty amazing. They're more than willing to give you the D on a cold and lonely Tuesday night, but they're not going to stick around. I mean, come on. It's supply and demand. It's a simple fundamental law. They have a lot of options. They have a lot of choice, just like women do. And they hate these men. Yeah. Do with that information what you will, eh? They hate men who have the same options as women do.
Stoop to go on out with you. You've got nothing to offer. You have no personality. You've got you've got your OnlyFans page. What do you expect? What do you expect? And what you realize is they're just completely delusional about this stuff. And also, it bears mentioning that one of the things I've seen more and more of, and this is pretty much exclusively women, is they're lamenting the fact that men don't approach them, and also that they don't know how to go out. They don't know how to approach somebody in a bar or a nightclub, right? Not even to go out for a hookup. They just don't know how to say hi to people. It's all swipe left or swipe right now. That's all there is to it, right? It's all they know how to do. And so they see somebody who superficially matches what they think they want. They swipe right to the guy. They text him. He texts back. What you doing? Nothing. You want to hang out? Yeah, okay. Next thing you know, sex on the first date, and then the guy ghosts them. He disappears, and they're amazed. They're amazed. They don't understand it, right?
Indeed. It's almost like Bill Whittle got up and tripped over a Rollo Tomasi book or something. It's pretty crazy.
And what this progressive lie has told them is that you can be as promiscuous as men want to be, as men are.
No, men want to be. If given the option, we would be, but most men are not giving the option. Go ahead.
Okay, and you are, but it's not. They always say it's not fair. It's like, look, of course it's not fair. It's not fair that the men had to go into those freaking trenches, right, and get themselves blown to ribbons to protect the women back home. It's not fair either. Women getting to the lifeboat before men, that's not fair either. So of course it's not fair. On balance, it's fair, but I just see this crisis, and it's getting worse. real fast.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. And you know, we're dealing with a lot of broken women, and they're coming from broken situations. You know, the men. That's why one of the things that I frown on really big time, Bill, is when this whole narrative that, you know, where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? It's like, no, man.
Where are the husbands?
Where are the husbands?
Yeah. Bingo, bingo, bango, bingo, bango. Exactly.
You've said that so many times.
Right?
Absolutely right.
And that's not a narrative that goes out. And it's like, it's a tried and true failure. It's tested in the world. Mm-hmm. And when you see that, I mean, anybody go, like, as we talk about the baby daddy and stuff like that. Yeah. Anybody can go out there and father a bunch of kids. The commitment is being a husband. That daughter of yours needs to see, you know, she needs to see that example, that security.
That you'll be there.
That's right. That's between a man and a woman. And that he honors.
And your son. And your sons. But of course, again, we're even these older guys are just so entrenched in the gynocentric society we live in. It's the hell with the sons. It's your poor daughter. What about your son? Sons need dad too, maybe even more.
Wife, which is pleasing to the Lord, and vice versa. And when they see that kind of commitment and that kind of honor, it's like, well, then you're building, you're helping to build. And in this world, man, there's gonna be mistakes. There's nothing's gonna be perfect. We live in an imperfect world, but you want to at least give each other the best chance that you can in this world. And we keep dropping the ball as far as that goes.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, these women, like you said, you know, they want to do the same thing that men can do, and it's not fair that they can't. What's that saying, man? How does that saying go? Why is it that men can sleep with a bunch of women and it's okay, but women sleeping with a bunch of men is not okay? And
who says it's okay? See, that's another, I think, misconception. Who says it's okay for the F boys to go out and bang all these chicks? Who says that's fine? Well, obviously women think so.
Well, the answer to that is, well, nobody values a lock that can be opened by any key, but anybody would value a key that can open any lock.
Now, Bill Whittle says, "Oh, I've never heard that before."
Wow, man, I've never heard that before. That's actually kind of interesting,
right? So,
wow,
you know, and now, of course, now that's just something, you know, with an inanimate object. When we're
but it's definitely got some truth to it.
Absolutely, right? Now, check it out. What was this one? There's this actress out there, man. What's her name? I think Emily Blunt, right? Says that she's sick of feminism in Hollywood. She's sick of seeing, like, you know, when she reads a script, it's like strong female lead. She's like, man, you know, I'm through. I'm over this, right?
It's played out. Nobody ever bought it in the first place. It's just tired and lazy now.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's tired, it's lazy. And you know, the thing is, Bill, when you have these narratives that go out like this, where, you know, the woman is strong and independent, and not that I'm frowning on strength. I'm not frowning on independence. That's not the point.
Stunning and brave girl boss.
Yeah, right. Yep. But the thing is, okay, so if we don't have like the whole dynamic of man going out and handling his business, and at the end gets the girl, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, man, because I understand in the right to mate, you know, with the money and stuff like that, that's symbolic of a mane and plumage and things like that. You want to have the right to mate. I got
absolutely.
That. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you know, we're getting away from, hey, in the end, the hero gets the girl. The feminism has destroyed women being seen as valuable. And I'm not talking about.
That's exactly it. That's it in a nutshell. Precisely correct.
Not a value as in, oh, this is my toy, this is my prize to do whatever I want with. You're a human being. I want you by my side. I want to be at your side. I want to honor you. You know, if I open the door for you, it's not because I'm thinking you're too weak to open the door for yourself. I'm just valuing you as a woman. I want the rest of your day. If this could be the first step of your threshold into a better day, I want to be there for that. That's all.
Well, and what's wrong with that? Apparently everything, because, you know, men are evil and toxic. Yep, indeed. Thumper's here. Hello, Thumper. How are you? Got any snow up there? Good info here. Yeah, this is, like I said, Bill Whittle usually doesn't delve into this particular topic. He does talk about feminism and Marxism and all that kind of crap, but this is a bit different for him, and he's got some baby steps here. He's getting there. He's getting
all
there.
It is. Yep, that's all it is. Now, feminism has turned that into something else, and it is parasitically, it is destroying and just robbing women. It is robbing them of being seen as valuable, as a person. Like I said, not valuable as a trophy or a toy or some sort of possession. Is a valuable human being. Feminism is robbing y'all of that, and y'all are going flipping nuts.
Yeah, and the dynamic, the traditional dynamic, if you really want to simplify it, the way it's always been is that the women make the decision as to whether or not to begin the relationship. You ask somebody out on a date, it's at least when we all grew up, when the world was sane, it was up to the guy to take that long walk, right? Across the bar floor and start chatting up somebody, gets shot down in front of everybody, that kind of thing. But it was up to men to make the approach. Women would decide whether or not to start the relationship, but men would decide whether or not to seal the relationship.
Bingo, 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 bingo. Like I said, hey, Bill, glad you're walking down the path finally. This is good.
Right? So the woman says yes or no to the initial date, and then it's up to the man to propose. This is the traditional view of things. And there's a balance there. And what among the many other symptoms I'm seeing of this pathology that the left keeps trying to introduce is an increasing rabid, spittle-flying hatred of men on the part of some women, just absolute hatred of them. And to some degree, it's understandable. Men are not treating them as if they're valuable, as you say, because they're complete total paints. They're bitches, who they're just, all they do is just, and so concurrent with all of this, there's
all they do is bitch
trend. Like I say, I like to watch a lot of stuff that's not political stuff, not overtly political stuff.
Okay. All right.
I'm really much more interested in a much wider net. And so I can kind of see trends as they're starting to develop. And one of the things that I've been seeing over the last several months, maybe 6 months to a year tops, but it's relatively short term, is a term that's going around called MGTOW, MGTOW, they're calling it. Wow. And when I first saw it, I saw it cropping up in a bunch of places. And what the hell does this mean? So I just did a quick Google search. It stands for men going their own way.
Yes, it does.
What this antagonism and this male hatred and this toxic masculinity and this mansplaining and all this other stuff, right? All of this stuff that's coming out that women are taught that they need to be doing by these lunatic leftists who are as unhappy as any people that ever lived.
Probably the least happy people that have ever lived.
What it's done is basically say to men that, and the fact that it's just a swipe right? You don't have to court somebody. You don't have to establish a relationship.
Nope.
These are hookup ads. So what the position that young men are taking is, okay, if women are going to be such an endless pain in the butt, and I can have sex with the swipe of an app, that's what we'll do. The bros will hang out and we'll be friends and we'll have honorable relationships and we can trust each other. We're not going to stab each other in the back and we're not going to constantly talk about how toxic we all are. We're not going to be lectured all the time. We're just going to hang out together. And then when we feel our natural urges, we'll just pick up an app like Tinder and we'll just go out for a night. Boom. And there's always somebody next in line to swipe left or right on. And this is the world that the left has created.
Yes. It's the world that the fembots wanted, and now they got it. Now they're not happy. Could you even imagine? Could you even predict that this would have been the outcome? Yeah, I don't know what he means about MGTOW. I mean, that's been around forever. Honestly, it's probably picked up a lot of steam in the last 10, 15, 20 years. But, certainly there's been confirmed bachelors for a long, long time, right? That's just, obviously. Everybody thought they were a little weird back then, huh? You're not married. Oh, yeah, confirmed bachelor, huh? I'd say they were pretty smart, turns out.
This isn't the fault of modern women. It's not like there's a problem.
No, it is. No, it is, because they bought into the bullshit. They drank the Kool-Aid by the ton. I mean, if women are complaining about the hookup culture, so-called, and all this, they could end it like that. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Pretty simple, isn't it? But that's not what's happening
with women so much as there's been a philosophy that's been fed to them for 2 generations now.
At least.
And we're not talking about original feminism either, so we can just be clear on this, right? The idea that a person should get paid the same pay for the same job is just a fundamental decent
Obviously,
reaction anybody has, and has been the law since the 1970s.
No, 1960s, actually 1963, Bill, but that's okay.
Right. So, and as people, oh, well, women make less than men. Well, if that were true, then businesses would hire only women, right?
Exactly.
You could afford to pay them 75 cents on the dollar.
I mean, you could save 25% of your payroll if it were not illegal to pay women less than men for the same job. Now, if it were not illegal, why aren't businesses doing that? I'm just curious. Tell me why.
And there wouldn't be any men employed.
I think it's illegal since 1963. I'm just,
But what it's doing is it's driving,
as it should be illegal,
driving the two sexes further and further apart, and women become more and more cut off and emotionally estranged and lonely and frustrated and enraged and angry and frankly, in some cases, just plain insane.
Now, part of the reason, Bill and Alfonso, is, in my opinion, is that they have been told, all this fembot crap, all of this, all of that. They're bitter, angry, pissed off because the lie that they bought into turns out it's not true. Your career is one thing, it's to put food on the table, pay your rent. It's not some fucking magic as it was described to them by the fembots.
And the men are at the point where they're just saying, you know what?
Screw it.
Knock yourselves out, girls.
I'm out.
Me and the rest of the bicycles will be over here having a good time, watching football. And you'll probably hear from us, somewhere on a 6 o'clock on a Saturday. And we'll sign off at 2 o'clock the next morning, and you'll never see us again. And why should you? Why should we?
Thank you, man. It's like, like I said, who wants to deal with these complications? But we're taught that that's what qualifies you that's what validates you is being complicated, right? And you don't want to bring that to the table in a relationship.
No.
And the funny thing is that it becomes this primitive way of behaving with each other. I mean, this ain't new stuff. I mean, we didn't need TikTok or anything like that for this. We've gone through this dynamic, the tug of war of love, all's fair in love and war since the dawn of civilization. We've been doing this. As I've always said, man, we're just in an age where we should know better now. I mean,
The part of the problem is, as I mentioned previously in the discussion, the guardrails were ripped off. That's the biggest problem. And the guardrails are considered to be oppressive by the women, by the feminists, and more particularly by the feminists. But I'm sorry. A lot of people say, well, not all women are. Yes, they are. In some way, in some form, they are all fembots. Just for that particular reason, if you say, well, we need to back off. Oh, my God, why could you? It's the same shit. Except maybe if you're, kind of a fundamental Christian or Muslim or Jewish person or whatever, very religious or Mormon, what have you, you still have those guardrails on to some degree. But if you're just a generic Christian in this country, that's been gone for 70 years.
How many times do we need to go around with this? And
God, one might even think about it this way. There may have been a reason why thousands of years ago when the wise men or God or whoever you believe in wrote this stuff down in the Bible. I don't know. You think maybe they knew a couple things.
In this time that we should know better, where we call ourselves woke and so informed, and you talk to anybody who's going to college and they're always, I'm taking psychology also. This is what? Everybody's taking flipping psychology, but you guys are psychotic. Everybody's taking psychology, and they want to be so informed and so intelligent. But in this wokeism, it's like all you guys are doing is trying to educate and justify to yourselves why it's okay to behave so primitive. It's
like the the revolution allowed women to act en masse like the worst possible men. That's what it did. And that's what we're seeing right now.
It's like you want to do all these things that appeal to your primitive, selfish...
Not average man, the worst possible F-boy. That's the way women act today. Not all women, obviously, but enough are like...
Nature. And you want to have like the intellectual recourse to be able to justify it. That's basically what all this stuff is about now.
Yep.
And more, I guess people are becoming more efficient in making themselves feel more and more empty. And I'm sorry, ladies, you know, as a man, I know that as within the male dominion.
No, Diogenes, that you're absolutely right. Now, I want the freedom to drive off a freaking cliff without the guardrail. There you go.
We've taken our dominion and we're domineering with it, right? I've been that person myself, and I hope that I have repented for those things. But at the same time, your response to it is a response of vengeance. Y'all are supposed to be the level-headed, reasonable, diplomatic ones and stuff like that.
Well, at least the ones that temper the most violent out impulses that men have.
Yes.
That if you look like the really traditional family, it's like dad gets angry about something and mom's job's kind of cool him down a little bit.
And imagine that. It's almost like we were made to be complimentary. I know. We compliment each other for some reason. I don't know, hundreds of thousands of years of evolution.
And he probably should be angry about that. And
or Adam's rib, whatever you believe is fine.
somebody needs to be angry about
Yes.
that, right? That's the strength, but it needs to be tempered. It's completely inverted now. And just to wrap this up, I've been married for almost 6 years now, and as long as 10 or 12 years ago, when I was kind of doing the LA dating scene, people would say, "What that's like? What's it like, Bill?" And I'd say, "Well, the men are weak and the women are crazy." And the weak men make the women crazy, and the crazy women make the men weak.
Absolutely.
And that trend is just continuing.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm starting to see some, it's not even pushback so much as I'm all across the board now, everywhere I look, I'm starting to see people waking up to the fact that this stuff just doesn't work.
Yep.
And the reason we're conservatives is we stay with the stuff that does work. They always say, "Oh, you guys never want to try anything new." No, we're all in favor of trying things new. But just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. Many times, stuff that's new is worse. From an evolutionary point of view, most mutations, the huge majority of mutations, they're just a catastrophe. It's 1 in 100 mutations are beneficial. So we're just basically saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And these progressives have been doing that. Look, there's not a mystery why they do this, okay? They started saying this in the Frankfurt School in the 1920s, and then Saul Alinsky and all the rest of it. If you're going to defeat America and America's unique moral foundation, you have to destroy the foundation. And that means you have to have everybody attacking, not each other, but attacking the middle. So blacks have to attack, this is the most racist country, and homosexuals have to attack it as the most homophobic country. Women have to attack it as the most misogynist culture, and the patriarchy and the mansplaining, all of it, right?
I mean, could you imagine? You're a sane person, right? Let me clear my throat here. I'm sorry. I hate to do that on mic, but I got to switch. What we have now is we actually have women, feminists, who believe this is absolutely the worst place in the world for women, the United States and the West. The worst. How can you imagine that in your delusional brain? It's kind of like going to a beautiful national park and all you do is look at somebody left some trash over there. What about the rest of it? Yeah, there's some nits and there's stuff we can certainly work on, but what about the beauty? What about the whole thing? Nope. Concentrate on the bad. Always.
So this contagion has been injected into the population. It's taught in schools, and we're getting a whole new contagion that's being taught in schools now too.
Yes.
And I know why they're doing that as well, but we've talked about that before. So yeah, I mean, like basically when you start saying to a boy or a girl who's, 8, well, don't tell your parents, but did you say you really wanted to be a little girl, Johnny? Yeah, I think it'd be great. Okay, well, we'll put you on puberty blockers. And and it's not even so much designed to make them gay or trans as to make them victims.
I bet if you asked an 8-year-old boy, hey, would you like to be a dinosaur? Or you want to be a transformer? They'd probably, yeah, that'd be great. They're kids, for God's sake.
Because victimhood is the coin of the realm. That's all it is. And when you see these, like the whitest of the white, the richest of the rich, most privileged white liberals getting on social media and saying, of course there's white privilege. Of course, and just like, how does a black man feel when this and all these white people say this? What do you know about it? You know nothing about it, right? You're trying to, you're a white male, straight white male in some cases, although it's hard to tell these days, who is basically trying to say, since I'm at the absolute bottom of the victim list, let me at least raise myself up by saying, oh, I completely agree that it's all our fault. Absolutely. No, it's all, I'm the problem. See, I'm one of the good ones. It's just psychotic.
Usually male feminists who are trying to get some sweet poon.
And it's getting worse. But
yeah.
The thing that I keep coming back to is, if you want to cure people of socialism, then give it to them. You want to cure people of intersectional feminism, give it to them. If you want to cure people of any of these make-believe ideas, you can't talk them out of it because reality isn't here anymore. I think that's probably the one thing I just want to close on, right? So men and women today can say, well, men are worthless and all they do is this and that and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, you can say that because
it's pretty rote bullshit at this point.
Work as well, if you work at all, you're a barista, or you work as a manager someplace or something. If working meant going out and cutting down trees for firewood for the winter, the difference between men and women would become immediately obvious.
Oh, yes.
Right?
That's right.
If that's the life we lived in, where you had to go down and chop down trees for the firewood.
And get eaten by bears and bit by raccoons and whatever. Yeah. Back before the Industrial Revolution, somehow the women didn't mind staying in that warm, safe little house.
And somebody had to make dinner.
Not that they didn't work hard. Of course they did, raising the kids, taking care of the animals and all that. But the old man was out in the field plowing. He was chopping wood. He was doing all that kind of shit. They shared the responsibility to keep everything going back when we were mainly agricultural. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Yeah.
These sex roles would be very clear,
and it still actually happens today. I mean, it's not it's not unheard of. On family farms, you got mom. Maybe she's a school teacher or something on the side, but she does what she does. He does what he does. Yeah, probably only the big cities really where this toxic cancer is most influential,
based on the physiology of the men and the women. And if it turned out that there was constantly, riders coming down from the hills to burn all our stuff and take our women away and rape them and turn our kids into slaves, then there'd be a little more respect for the guys that start running towards these horsemen with their pitchforks, right? So that the others can get away.
Yes.
But when you don't have that, you end up with what you said. You end up with this toxic femininity that wants to cherry pick all of the things about traditional male roles that they want.
The good stuff, yeah.
And not pay any of the prices for it. And men, like I said, men go in their own way. They're just like saying, you know what? You guys just knock yourselves out. We'll be watching football games and you'll hear from us on Tinder somewhere around 6:00 on Saturday.
If that.
There it is, man. And the thing is, if once again, with women, being disenchanted, disgruntled, they're angry, right? They're angry because hey, where's that male shoulder to cry on? Where the men at? It's like they resent us, but they really, at the same time, really need us. And a lot of men just aren't there when we need them. But at the same time, they've pushed a lot of men away.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Yeah, and we don't want to be in a society like that. And as you were saying, with the people coming in and who are going to protect the women, if man wanted to just have complete dominion over women, nothing could be done to stop it.
This is the greatest point of all. And if you really want to drive a feminist out of their mind, this is the way you do it.
Right.
Just you say feminism exists because men allow it to exist.
Yes, thank you.
There are many societies in the world, maybe most of them, maybe most of the people on the planet, there is no feminism. There's no feminism because the men don't allow it.
Yeah, that's another way to drive the you get a really crazy fembot going on and spewing. It's like, who exactly gave you all of these rights? Was that the evil patriarchy?
And when women talk about the patriarchy and how male dominance and so on, the question they never ask is, well, why is that? If you're so stunning and brave, how come how come this thing even exists?
Yeah.
Why isn't there a matriarchy if you guys are the super creatures that you say you are? Yes, you really want to drive a feminist nuts. You say feminism only exists because men have been kind enough to allow it to happen, which is true.
Yeah.
And they'll get all huffy and stuff. And I'll say, listen, if it came down to it, I could come up there and I could just pound the snot out of you and you could hit me as hard as you want to. It won't have any effect. Right. Yeah, well, if you do that, the police will come. Precisely. Men will come. Mm-hmm. Men will come to take me away and put me in jail. But if the police, if it was just the males just saying, we've had enough of this, it's over. It's over overnight.
That's right.
And I don't say that to be sounding like, resentful or anything. It's just a fact that eludes them. And as I said, there is some good news, and that good news is I'm starting to see lots and lots and lots of men suddenly, and I mean in the last couple months, kind of no longer being this kind of, all right, fine, I'm terrible. I'm seeing a lot more now of men saying,
like,
hey, you know what?
No.
Knock yourselves out.
Have fun.
This is the world that you've chosen for yourselves. We'll take advantage of it. We're going to have ourselves a fine old time.
Yep.
And society pays for that.
Yeah.
Yep. In many ways.
I think that's probably the only way to cure it if it is curable. And I suspect it probably is. Reality has a funny way of asserting itself over time.
Indeed it does, man. And I tell you what, it's just like you said, the only thing that stops that from happening is other men. Other men stops this takeover because we wouldn't want it to be that way. We don't want women to be subjected to that. No. We don't even want women to be subject to what they're doing to themselves.
That's right.
It's like, look,
that's right.
We're actually trying to help you. There are actually some decent guys out there who are like, and usually they're the ones that last, and they're the ones who stay in the friend zone. But the bottom line is like, look, what you're doing. This isn't just men doing this to you at this point. You have doubled down on it and you're doing it to yourself. You're acting out of vengeance. And when you do that, it's definitely going to go sideways. So, like I said, women, you don't have to go down that road. There's a better way to do these things. Stop listening to these mainstream left-wing nuts who are telling you this stuff because it's only causing you more pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should have ended this a while ago, but just as a last final thought, as I was driving in, I was listening to one of these videos that I was talking about. And there's this Australian woman saying, when we say we want to live in a world without male violence, that doesn't mean we want men to protect us. We don't want to be protected by men. That's like saying, since there are wolves out there, we're going to bring a wolf into our own house to protect us from other wolves. And I'm thinking, you're close. You're close. What you do is you bring a sheepdog in to protect the sheep from the wolves. So what is a sheepdog? Well, a sheepdog has the same fangs and the same power, the same aggression as the wolves. He's just as mean as the wolves. He can fight as hard as the wolves, but he's on the side of the sheep. And for her not to realize that, right? For her to make the assumption that just because you're a man means you must be automatically a wolf is to miss the entire essence of the argument, right?
Bill, but that's what they've been taught. I'm not sure you fully understand. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'll have to watch some more of it. But that's what a lot of these younger women, the modern women, have been taught. All men are fucking rapists. All men are violent thugs. Given the opportunity, they will cause you harm. You must be afraid of them. So it's not really a surprise to hear a fembot say such nonsense. Well, of course, why would I want to bring another wolf in? Well, not all men are wolves, according to what Bill Whittle, I think, said very well there. So anyway, the link is in the description. What time is it? Oh, we did an hour and a half. Well, that's fun. So tonight, let's see, Scotty Side. I don't know if I'll do anything. I haven't decided yet. Undead Chronic might be doing something. Maybe Hammerhand. We'll see. It should be a fun night. Anyway, thanks for showing up. Links in the description. You guys have a wonderful Friday. I'll see you later. Bye.